What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to episode 16 of the Axis of Combat podcast. One of your co-hosts right here, Boogie Kahuna, Big Boogie. Just call me Ray. My co-host.
Moneybag Mike. Hugo the boss. Hugo got next. You already know. We back, baby, with episode 16. We have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today, including UFC 289, and then we're going to recap our bets from last week. But before all of that, you guys already know the routine. Follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody watching on YouTube right here, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, and many more, because we just found out the other day that we have access to many more podcast platforms. So if you are on something else that's not one of the big three, we're probably there. So no excuses for you guys not finding us. So
all you got to do is just type in at Axis of Combat anywhere, and you'll probably find us. You feel me?
Considering the name, we should be.
I don't know what that means. What do you mean considering the name?
Axis of Combat, baby. You already know it's unique. We the Axis of the world.
Why didn't you just say that?
Why not? What did I say? What?
I don't know. You made it sound weird. Like
I didn't make it sound
the name like it was a bad thing.
Oh no! Why are you gonna be bringing all that negative juju up in here? I know. What?
Listen, that's what you was spitting right now. So I don't know. What I'm saying?
Nothing.
You never spit nothing. I'm saying.
Oh,
the bars like me. Feel me?
The bars like you.
Bars like
you
me.
want to talk about bars like you?
Okay.
Yeah, you know I'm going with this.
Nah, listen. I got bars. I might not have bets, but I got bars.
All right, let's recap them bets from last week.
Do we have to, man?
We don't have to. We can skip this shit.
No, let's do it.
All right.
Accountability, ladies and gentlemen, accountability.
So definitely not shining performances on either side here, guys. We'll start it off with what me and my brother got wrong. Grishin money line. Gaforov money line. Arlovsky money line. Nurmagomedov money line. Santos inside the distance. Caceres and Pineda fight ends in sub. Altamirano money line. Caceres Pineda fight does not go the distance. Yes.
I'm tired of hitting this damn button.
And Lacerda money line. So that's not all, That's not a... Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, most of that was me. I had a terrible night.
It's all good. It happens.
I woke up hoping it was just a dream. that yesterday, the next day was the fight night, and it wasn't. It was real. I got dogged out. I got reverse hood perfect. Not a perfect. I ain't get swept. I got one right, but
let's get to that.
I'm waiting for that one.
At least read money line.
Yeah. By the skin of my teeth too.
I hit a couple more, but not many more. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I went 4 and 6. No, 4 and 5 actually. No. Am I saying this wrong?
In straights, or are you including the parlay?
Including the parlay.
Oh, so minus the parlay. What do you got?
I'm 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm 4 and 7 on straights. With the parlay, I'm 5 and 7.
Okay.
But units wise, I broke even essentially. So
must be nice.
Sorry.
Your boy's down 8.
Oh my goodness.
8 ball.
Oh my god.
My god.
So you hit Elise Reed. I hit Blackshear money line, Silva money line, Caceres money line, Albazi money line. And guys, just so you know, and just so we got on the record, I think me and my brother both agree with this. I had 2.5 units on Albazi, and I was prepared to lose in that main event because I thought he lost that fight. And I looked at it again. Every round that was in question, I watched again. I scored it for KFK. So
who's KFK?
Kai Kara France.
Oh, isn't it KK?
Is
Kai Kara France?
Is that what
KKF?
it is? Oh shit! I was going to say KFC. So Gotta get it.
You hungry, boy.
I'm hungry as hell. I'm hungry to get some bets back in the road this week. But yeah, I felt bad for Kai Kara-France. I thought he won the fight.
No, I agree.
And listen, I'm the unbiased party here. I had money on Albazi, and I'm telling you, he didn't win that fight.
It was a close fight, man. Close fight. But I think the
3-2.
the toss-up round is probably the first round.
Probably the first round.
Yeah.
But the thing is, none of the judges scored it.
Well, listen, the judges, on crack.
If that dude, if one of those judges scores round 4 for Kai wins the fight.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you score. We were talking about mid-fight. We're like, damn, this looks like a takeoff round for Albazi because he blew his arms out trying to choke him out in the third.
Yeah, he 100% took his foot off the gas in round 4. So I don't even understand how round 4 was even scored remotely.
For Albazi
at all. So
round 5 was closer, and I still gave it to Kai.
Yeah.
I think every judge gave it to Kai, actually. So I don't know, man. I mean, listen, I'm not complaining. That helped me.
Listen, man.
I won the bet. So, but
bet that cashes. That's a good bet in my book.
That's it. Yeah.
No matter how you got there.
Yep. And exactly. And on to the next one, guys. We definitely, both of us, are going to be a little better this week. I can assure you.
Yeah.
That there's no way it gets much worse for my brother.
I mean, I got hood perfect, man. I don't.
And
it don't get no worse than that, boy.
And one thing I did wrong, and I haven't done this since I've started the show, is I made way too many bets. The thing is, I liked a lot of these lines, and they just backfired.
I mean,
Dante Mills wanted to show up and knock out my boy Arlovski. A lot of people's unders got burnt. A lot of people's overs got burnt there.
You can't get mad at making too many bets, man. There was just a lot of spots that you liked, and then some of them just didn't work out.
Yeah, Nurmagomedov.
Never regret, brother.
Fighting like a potato.
Yeah.
I gotta fade him after this fight because he doesn't chain wrestle like his cousin Khabib, bro. He doesn't chain wrestle like him. He's shown glimpses of it in his past performances. This one was just a shit one.
And I put 2.4 units on that boy. He was like one of my better, like he was one of my more confident reads. And I was like, man, split decision. Wait, it was split, right? He ended up going to the decision, and I was like, yikes. Flush that money down the toilet. Jesus.
My saviors were Silva and Albazi, and then Caceres. I should have put more money on him because I knew that fight. I knew how that fight was gonna go, and I'm stupid because I went against my goodwill and put that fight not to go the distance. Even though I was saying the whole time before we were betting that fight's probably gonna go the distance because Pineda is very durable and Caceres is not a big puncher.
Why'd you end up making a bet then?
I was chasing, man.
Yeah.
Chasing my dreams. That shit.
Never chase, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't chase. Yeah. I mean, I chased good because it got me into it helped me break even. But damn, man. I just a lot of these spots, I look back on them and I'm like, ugh. But at the end of the day, you're right. Bet to bet. It is what it is. On to the next one. We're going to bury this card for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. We have UFC 289.
Ooh.
Nunes versus Aldana. And I got some spicy takes today. We got some good shit for you guys today. So let's just get this show on the road.
So just quick recap, like my brother said, 289, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Fights that are not happening. Matt Schnell, he pulled out his fight with Dvořák. Dvořák got a new opponent. We'll get to that. On this card was supposed to be Stephen Thompson and Michel Pereira. That would have been nice. Another fight that was supposed to be on this card, Hakeem Dawodu, Lucas Almeida. Dawodu ended up drawing there. Amanda's original opponent was supposed to be Juliana Pena. Thank God that fight fell through because I ain't want to see that again, to be honest.
No, we don't need to see that again.
Nah. And Chris Daukaus was supposed to be on this card going against Roundtree, and Daukaus ended up pulling out. So,
yeah.
But 11-fight card.
Not the strongest pay-per-view card at all.
Not the strongest pay-per-view card at all.
At all.
This is a fight night card, and the only reason they're calling it a pay-per-view is because there's a championship fight on it, to be honest. But
yeah, I'm not sure if you want to contribute $70 to paying for this card. I'm going to go on a record and say that. Probably go to your local bar.
Go to your friend's house.
Chip in.
Yeah.
Other forms of watching this are available that we cannot speak about on this podcast platform.
Hey, take it easy.
But,
Big Brother's always watching.
But what I will say is, just not the strongest card. But this is going to be a nice, sweet, short one, ladies and gentlemen, because some of these spots I like, and some of them I just want to stay away from. Some of these lines are blown out. Let's get right into it, man. Let's do it.
All right, first fight on the card here, we have Diane Belbiţă going one-on-one with Maria Oliveira. The Warrior Princess Belbiţă, 14-7 overall. Romanian. She is 1, 2, 3. She's 2-3 out of her last 5 here. And she's going against the Spider Girl, who is 13-6 overall. She's 3-2 out of her last 5. Both 26 years old. Spider Girl is Brazilian. This fight is pretty much like a mirror match, in my opinion. They both kind of do the same thing. Belbiţă, I think, is slightly bigger, height wise
and length wise.
No, I think Oliveira's got the 1-inch reach advantage here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, her legs for sure.
Belbiţă, she's got dog in her. I think she's gonna be my lean. I've been going back and forth on this because I think Belbiţă, where she's kind of the move forward, pressure you, and more accurate kind of puncher. Oliveira, she likes to blitz, and she'll throw in crazy combinations, and she'll use I think her best asset is her leg kicks. They both can't wrestle. They both can't defend a takedown. If I had to pick who I think would end up getting the takedown between the two, it might be Oliveira, but I think this fight stays standing, and I think I got to give it to the person who, in my opinion, is the more accurate striker. And I think she's probably the stronger striker of the two, but I don't know. But the lean is Belbiţă. Don't know. I think it's a pick'em.
It is a pick'em.
Don't know where I'm don't know if I'm gonna bet it or not, but that's the way I'm leaning at the moment.
Yeah, I'm leaning Oliveira here, and just because I think she has a more pronounced kicking game, I think she knows how to manage distance a little better, and I think she knows how to throw in combinations and win in the optics of the judges. I'm staying away from this fight. I might pick the over and parlay the rounds, but those are blown out too, so I don't know how much value you're really going to get from there. But these girls throw so much volume that one of them can get stopped. So I'm also kind of concerned there. In addition to two strikers are fighting, and I agree with you. I think Oliveira is the better grappler. I could see her just wrestling her because the striking's going to mitigate each other.
The only thing that worries me about Oliveira is I think if everything's even, I can see Oliveira being the one kind of falling back after being punched. And I think Belbiţă is not a little, just slightly better defensively when it comes to the striking. But I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at with that as well too. I kind of agree with you there. But yeah, this fight's not getting any of our money. That's the conclusion to that shit. Yeah.
So I am not, they're not horrible fighters. I won't go that far, but you're going to get my money.
It is the lower level variety though. So
absolutely. But you're going to put money on this?
Stupid. I'm not going to let you get the chance.
Hell no. So yeah, we could definitely move on from this one. But yeah, that's our leans. No money, no bets.
Next fight we have here is in the flyweight division. It is David Dvořák. Dvořák. Jesus Christ.
Okay. Let's calm it down.
What? He's my lord.
He's my lord. My lord. My lord.
He's not my god though.
You gotta say yeah.
I worship Crom. Crom's my real god.
My lord. My lord Crom.
My lord. David Dvořák going against the debuting Steve Erceg, the Undertaker. David Dvořák. That's his nickname. That's sick. 20-5. He's 3-2 out of his last 5, but he's on a 2-fight losing streak. Fighting out of the Czech Republic, 31 years old, going against the debuting Astro Boy Steve Erceg. Fighting out of Australia, he's 9-1, 5 out of his last 5, 27 years old. The way I see this is Dvořák is pretty much like the rank. He's the flyweight gatekeeper. If you can get past him, you deserve your rank. I don't know too much about this Steve Erceg guy from what I can see. I mean, a lot of his fights end early. He's a sub specialist. He looks like an Australian malnutritioned Aaron. What was it? A-Rod?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
He does.
He looks like, I think he's got technical striking. Like, you can tell he's very patient when it comes to it, but like, there's not enough footage out there because, usually his goal is to get his guy to the ground and sub him out. Dvořák is a very sharp puncher. I think he's got good grappling. He's got good wrestling. I think he should win this fight. I think the line is probably way too big to me, to even look at the Dvořák side. So this might just be a pass. Maybe I look at some time props. Maybe I look at some over-unders and stuff like that, But I don't know. I think the side for me is Dvořák. But that's, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think the side is Dvořák, but I'd be damned if I'm going to give this fight any of my money. He's at minus 265. He should never be at 265 because I swear when we were reviewing fight footage, this man was always on his back. He was getting dropped in every fight.
I mean, he straight up got dog walked by Cap.
Yeah,
Cap. That fight was
an ass whooping. Like, I know Beneil was a beast.
By the third round, not even like by the second round. Beneil was just like styling on him.
Yeah,
and I felt bad. And to Dvořák's credit, like he's got, there was points where he should have gotten out. The first round, he had him like in this Kimura, which I thought Beneil was going to end up taking his arm with him. Second round, I mean, had him in danger, ground and pound. But, to Dvořák's credit, the dude's tough. It's hard to get Dvořák out. He's never been subbed. He's also an equal opportunity finisher. He's got like 8 KOs, 8 subs. Nothing. He hasn't really. I think he's only finished one guy in the UFC though. Everything else has been, since he's been in UFC, it's pretty much been decision for him. But I think he's good.
No, I'm with you. Yeah. I think he's good too. I just think he gets dropped way too much. And, I have a hard time, especially with he's getting in there with a guy who's like a finisher. I'm going to stay away from this fight. Because I don't know. I can't give you any value in terms of how it's going to look or what it's going to look like. Will Dvořák stab him? Will he surprise homeboy and sub him?
I mean, yeah, Roger got some striking,
Rogers in his MVP / Super Bowl season, if he pulls up and he starts choking dudes out, this fight is not getting any of my money, and then, like I said, if Steve Eryk subbed him or knocked him out,
hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
So that's all I gotta say about this fight. But David Dvořák is the lean. That's all I gotta say. This fight's not getting any of my money.
All right, next fight we have here in the featherweight division, we have Blake Bilder versus Kyle Nelson. Blake El Animal Bilder, 8-1. No, 8-0-1. I apologize. He's got one draw. No L's though. So he's 5 out of his last 5. 32 years old, fighting out of California. And we have Kyle the Monster Nelson here. 13-5-1. He is 1-3-1 at his last 5. The first hometown boy on the card, fighting out of Huntsville, Ontario, Canada. 32 years old. I think Kyle Nelson is not UFC caliber. I think if he didn't draw in his last fight, he probably would have been cut. He only has one win over a guy who I don't think is even in the UFC right now. Blake Bilder, I think he's got potential. This is more of a, for me, I don't know if I'm going to bet it. I think Bilder's the side. I think this is like a show me fight for Bilder because, I mean, like he went and he beat that Australian dude. I don't remember his name, but he walked him. But it wasn't like anything spectacular. I mean, can I see Kyle Nelson, getting +5 because he's from Canada and he's fighting in Canada? Sure. And if it goes to decision, maybe. We don't know. But I think the side is Bilder here, and don't know if I'm going to bet it.
I will say, I disagree with you saying that he's not UFC caliber. I do understand your premise, though, so I'm not going to completely, disparage it or discourage your thoughts.
Disrespect me, brother. Go ahead.
I'm not going to disrespect you. But if Kyle Nelson comes in with a similar game plan that he had when he fought the Korean Superboy, Doo-Hoon Choi.
Which he was losing, by the way.
He was losing that fight. And to be honest, the only reason it was a draw is because Doo-Hoon Choi lost a point in that fight.
Yeah, he ended up, he got a point taken away for a headbutt.
Yeah, it was BS.
Yeah.
If you want, it was a BS, in my opinion. You know what? No, that's cat. Because he kind of just
Yeah,
he's like, oh yeah, he tried to check him on the floor, and he wanted to headbutt him by accident. You know how people in New York do it, yeah, what's good?
What's up, boy?
What's up? You know, mind your business, just mind your business. You know what I'm saying?
All that, but
no, that's that Fresh Prince shit. But you get what I'm saying? I think Blake's got to be the lean here. I'm not putting a bet on him minus 240. Might be a parlay piece, I will say, because I do have confidence that he will win this fight. But if Kyle shows up with some motivation and comes in with a similar game plan like he did against Doo-Hoon Choi, and he's able to control him and try to win at least 2 of these 3 rounds, he could win this fight. But I still like Bilder a lot in this spot.
I don't know if I like him a lot, only because this is the best guy he's fought.
Yeah,
and as much as I don't think Kyle is that guy. I don't know if he's like I said, I don't think he's cut for the UFC.
You're not sure Bilder is either.
He's only lost to besides Matt Sales, he's lost to decent guys. He lost to Ferreira on his debut. Mm-hmm. He lost to Jai Herbert. He lost to Billy Q. So he's lost to good dudes. But I don't know, man. I just don't like. I don't like what I see when I watch Kyle's tape. He's got power. I think he wants to grapple.
His wrestling's okay too. This is what I'm saying. It's not.
But Bilder is I don't know. I just feel I need to see more from Bilder before I have more confidence. And plus and what's Bilder's number? I think it's too big for
minus 240.
Yeah, it's that's a little too spicy for me. So
yeah, you could miss me with that shit. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we can move on to the next one. I agree with all your points. So,
all right, next fight we have Aiemann. That's how you say his name, right?
Yep.
Aiemann Zahabi going against Aoriqileng. Zahabi here 9-2. He is 3-2 out of his last 5. Another hometown boy fighting Montreal, Quebec, Canada here, 35 years old. Going against Aoriqileng, the Mongolian murderer. 24-9. He is 3-2 out of his last 5. 29 years old, out of China. I think Zahabi is probably overall the better fighter. I think Aoriqileng's got the power and he's got the pressure. Zahabi likes to fight safe. I think he's got the if I had to give the IQ edge to anybody, it'd probably be Zahabi. I don't know how this fight plays out. I'm gonna lean Zahabi. I know the criticism on him is he kind of fights once a year, but
and he's a slow starter. He doesn't really get going.
That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me too much. Can he get clipped by Aoriqileng? Yeah. But Aoriqileng is very easy to clip as well. So it's not So I think the side is going to be Zahabi. Don't know if I'm going to bet it. Don't know what kind of bet I want to bet here. But Zahabi's the side for me. What about you?
I'm on the fence with this one. I just have a hard time picking Zahabi because he fights once every 20 years and he's 35 years old.
Once a year.
Yeah. So, who he beat? Ricky Tercios. Ricky Tercios is...
Well, I think that's the fight where Ricky Tercios threw 300. He had 300 attempts and only landed 30.
Yeah, it was weird. He was trying to style out. Yeah,
it was the weirdest shit.
Yeah, he was he was fighting himself in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, you painting yourself in the mirror. In the mirror, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna deck you. Oh no, style out.
Too fast.
Yeah.
Ooh, you didn't see this one.
Yeah, you didn't see.
Damn. Ooh, almost caught you on that one. Better watch out. But
what I will say is, I think Aoriqileng has fought the better brand of competition.
He has.
I think Aoriqileng has the power. He is easy to get. He is easy to clip, but he does have the longer reach here, and I think he has the faster hand speed. Can Zahabi knock him out? Sure. Can Zahabi submit him? Definitely. But what I will say is that this fight's a pick'em. It's a pick'em for a reason, and I also don't even know how we pick this fight. Does it end Does it go to the decision?
Yeah.
This fight is this fight, even though there's a lot of nicely priced lines, it's a big stay away in my opinion. I don't know how to quantify a pick here.
No, I mean, listen, I think it's properly lined because I can see a whole bunch of scenarios.
A whole bunch, yeah.
Aoriqileng is winning this fight.
Yeah.
I'm just,
And Zahabi's a slow starter. So my thing is, it's like if Aoriqileng gets going early and he wins most of the second round, you got to depend on Zahabi to stop him in the third.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put money on a guy that fights once every 20 years. It's
once a year, man.
He comes, him and Jeepers Creepers come out at the same time. Like once every 23 years, he comes out to feast. You know what I'm saying?
Why you got to exaggerate?
I'm just keeping it real. Oh, he was a hot prospect. He's no longer a hot prospect. He's an old ass man. And, no disrespect to him. He's probably still in the UFC just because his brother's Faraz and GSP is one of his training partners. So no disrespect to him. I think he has good technical application, things of that nature. But when you're that inactive, it's hard for me to give you any of my money. It just is, man. My hard-earned money. I have to argue with people to get this money. You know what I'm saying? Get into fight to people to get this money. You think I'm going to put it on Zahabi? Come on, man. I'll put it on my man, the Mongolian murderer. That's a hard-ass name, bro.
I mean, who knows? I mean, again, a lot of these fights is going to end up like, hey, I'm going to wait till like weigh-ins, media day.
See how they look.
See where their mind state's at,
I love me some Mongolian murderer.
And listen, after the last card, personally for me, I'm gonna take my time and like really flesh out these picks. You know what I'm saying? Flesh out the bets. Like the pick is gonna be Zahabi. Don't know if I'm gonna bet it. What's the line on this anyway? You said it's a pick'em, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And what I will say is, listen, Mongolian murderer, 6 years younger.
Yeah.
And with a 1.5-inch reach advantage. And listen, my lean here is gonna be Aoriqileng just because his nickname is the Mongolian murderer, and his name is one word, like seal. You know what I'm saying? So that's my lean, and that's where I'm going. Because this fight's scary. I don't know how to fight. I don't know how this fight's going.
I'm not gonna touch that one.
Yeah. What? Aoriqileng? Aoriqileng is one word.
I mean, it looks like one word. I mean, it's
is it two words?
It's technically 2 words.
Oh, typology. Get it together.
No. The thing is, like in China, like you pronounce it's the first name is last, the last name is first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one word on typology.
I mean, technically it is one word, so you're not wrong.
Yeah, Aoriqileng, it's like seal. So
yeah, he's like seal.
I'm going. I'm going to
from a rose.
I'm going to Aoriqileng because of all the things I listed, obviously from a technical standpoint, but also one word is his name, and his nickname is the Mongolian murderer. That's why I'm picking him against a guy who fights once every 23 years like Jeepers Creepers. On to the next one.
All right, next fight we got here is women's flyweight. Still in the prelims here, we have Jasmine oh my God.
Yeah. Just say Jasmine J.
That's dude, I practiced this name off like right before we started recording. I was practicing this particular name. Jasudavicius. There you go. Jasudavicius. Jasmine Jasudavicius going against Miranda Maverick. That wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
Jasudavicius, 8-2. She is 4-1 in her last 5. Ooh, also another Canadian fighting out of St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, 34 years old. Going against Fear the, or I guess it's Miranda Fear the Maverick. Fear the. That's the nickname.
That's cute.
Fear the. Yeah, I get it. 11-4. She is 3-2 out of her last 5. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, 25 years old. I think if Miranda fights the perfect fight, or if this fight goes the way most people would think, I think Miranda wins. But I think Jasmine is live. I think Jasmine is live because, I mean, she's one of those fighters where I kind of just like underrated, and every time she comes out, she impresses, and I'm like, okay. And Miranda, she's not that she's shown like poor IQ, but like sometimes she'll fight and
turn her brain off.
not turn her brain off. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like she's kind of just underwhelmed. Maybe because there was just like a lot of hype behind her, and she's not really like, you know,
well, listen,
fast tracking towards that, you know, or living up to that hype. Not necessarily. She's not that she's whack, because when
she's not. Yeah.
When she's on top, I mean, she does the Dagestani handcuff thing,
the wrist ride.
She's vicious on top, boy. She beats the shit out of people she gets on top of. But I feel like in this particular fight, Jasudavicius, that's what she kind of wants to fight as well. I think the best way this fight needs to play out from Miranda is that she needs to keep it standing, because I think if she keeps it standing, I think she's the better of the two strikers, and I think she can decision her way, you know, to victory. But like I said, Jasudavicius, I don't think her hands are the worst, and I think her grappling is super solid. And I think if they, like, you know, if they ended up like clinching and trying to, you know, like trip to the ground, I could see Jasmine being the bigger girl, like, you know, landing on top. And if she lands on top, you know, when you see wrestlers on their backs, they're not really the best. So it's like, I think Jasmine's live. I'm gonna pick Miranda to win, because I think she's got more potential, and I think she's got the better striking. But if that line on Jasmine gets big, or, you know, somewhere where I like it, I might take a little dog stab. But at the moment, it could be dog or pass. I think Miranda's, a little bit too big of a favorite to like really jump on that. So this is like dog or pass. I think Miranda's side. I think Jasmine could be the bet. But that's, you know, more or less the way I'm kind of like playing it out of my head. What about you?
I agree. I agree with everything you said. And I think she's as live as it gets. I really do. She is the bigger girl, and that should be noted. She was also, I believe she made the Canadian national team for wrestling. So, yeah. Okay. So her wrestling is legit. So Miranda doesn't really have the best shot selection. She's not the best wrestler. She's not bad. Don't get me wrong. She's not as bad as someone else that we're going to name on this card later. With the wrestling shots. But what I will say is that Jasmine J, I'm not going to pronounce her last name because I have a little bit more respect for her, and I'm not going to try and butcher it.
Whoa, you trying to say? Listen, I'm trying to get it right for the cast, boy. You know what I'm saying? The people need to know her name. All right.
Jasmine J.
No, Jasudavicius. Say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Jasudavicius.
I'll say Jasmine, you say it.
Jasudavicius.
That's it. I think she can mitigate a lot of Miranda's grappling with her wrestling, and I could see this. I could see her winning this fight. Miranda's the lean. Jasmine might be the bet. They got her at plus 300 for decision here. I like that a lot. I will not be putting Miranda in any of my parlays. That I can assure you.
It's scary. It's scary.
It's a scary fight. This line is not truthful to how close the fight can be.
Yeah, this line should be way closer. Like where Miranda, I think you if I was to cap it, make her like around 140, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
you could go even 180. You could go 180.
A little lower than that.
You go 180.
I said about 140. Because
I think she has a distinct advantage on the feet. I really do. I think that. I don't think that's over exaggeration. Miranda does her best work when she's grappling and wrestling, not when she's striking. So, Jasmine, live as hell. We can move on to the next one.
All right, next fight we got here is the main event for the prelims currently constituted, and we have Nassourdine Imavov going against Chris Curtis. The Russian sniper, Nassourdine Imavov, 12-4. He is 3-2 out of his last 5, with his last fight being a loss. He is a Russian via France, right? Fighting out of France, 27 years old. Going against the action man, Chris Curtis, who is 3-2 out of his last 5. His last fight being an L as well, where he lost to Kevin Gastelum. 35 years old and fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Man, I think this is probably the second or maybe third best fight on this card. I like Chris Curtis. I like him a lot. Nassourdine, if he fights the same way that who's Chris Curtis's not last opponent, the opponent before that. Was it
Joaquin Buckley?
No, not Buckley. Jack Hermanson. If he fights more or less the way the Jack Hermanson route, where he kind of just like
is in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of just like, doesn't really go and fight into Chris Curtis's like, counter striking
boxing space.
He could win. And I think he's fully capable of that. But I think Nassourdine at his best is mixing the striking and the grappling. And I don't think he's going to be able to get the grappling off because Curtis has, very good takedown defense. So I think the side for me is going to be Chris Curtis. And I think it, does it go to decision? Maybe Chris Curtis late. I can see.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I think the lean for me might be Nassourdine. The bet might be Chris Curtis, and here's why. Nassourdine fought Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland is training partners with Chris. Chris and Sean have two different styles, but they do talk to each other. They do train with each other, and they are going to share where Nassourdine's strong at, and Chris will be very prepared. Nassourdine also, this is not a 5-round fight. If it was a 5-round fight, I definitely favor Chris Curtis more to find his chin at some point during the fight because Nassourdine does gas. He did against Strickland, and he had a full camp for that. And I also think that Chris is definitely the bigger puncher here, by far. If he catches him once, it's a wrap. But if Nassourdine can keep him on the outside and be in and out, and exactly do the Jack Hermanson, we only need him to win 2 rounds here. We don't need him to win all 3.
Yeah.
So Nassourdine's the lean, but I think this is a dog or pass fight. I really do.
I got a couple of concerns. I mean, Nassourdine, and maybe just one big concern. Like, there's going to be a big size difference. Like, Nassourdine's a big dude.
He's huge, and Chris is small for the weight class.
Yes.
Short. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I think Nassourdine's the lean. Chris Curtis might be the live dog in this fight. He might be a bet. I'm not going to confirm it. This is one of those fights. I want to see the scales. I also don't like Chris Curtis coming back after getting knocked out from the headbutt. Same thing with Jared Gordon recently against Calvin Gastelum. Mm-hmm. I don't like that at all. So I do worry that he is coming back a little too fast, but I do trust his striking defense because he is very efficient and very defensive when it comes to his striking and letting off his shots. I don't know how I'm going to bet this fight yet, but I can probably assure you that I will be laying a bet on this. And I think I love the over for this fight too. Chris is a slow starter. Nassourdine not the biggest puncher or kicker, and Chris is durable anyway.
Yeah, over 1.5. I can see that.
I love the over here, and if it's too wide, you parlay that shit. I think that thing's going to hit. So,
and you also brought up a good point with Sean Strickland. I mean, even though it's probably not the best practice to do MMA math like this, but they both are teammates. Strickland did beat Nassourdine
on like a week's notice.
On a week's notice. When you go back into the history, they also, Strickland and Curtis, I'm talking about, they both also fought Brandon Allen, and they both, I think, finished him as well. So it's like,
Chris is smart, man. Chris is a very smart fighter.
Chris is a very smart fighter. And Nassourdine, if he controls the pace, he won't gas. But if you put the pace on him, Chris Curtis should, but I don't think he could.
He can. He just doesn't.
It's not his style.
It's not his style.
Yeah.
Sean can put a pace on you.
You can gas him.
Which is why what Sean did. Sean beat the brakes off of him late in that fight because he was able to put pressure on him and make him work.
But Chris Curtis does work the body very well.
He does. He has very good timing.
Probably one of the best body punchers in the game.
He has better timing than Sean.
Yeah.
He does. So he can catch him on the way in. He can catch him on... Jesus.
So he could probably gas him like that.
Yeah, that fight he had... And look what he did to Calvin.
Yeah.
He had Calvin on Queer Street a couple of times in that fight when he was touching him. Yeah. And Calvin got a granite chin.
If it wasn't for that headbutt, I think,
Chris wins that fight.
Chris would have won that fight.
Chris wins that fight.
Yeah.
So...
Because the optics just weren't,
Yeah, I just don't like him coming back this soon. But I do like him to catch Nassourdine because I don't think Nassourdine is... It is a 3-round fight, but yeah, like I said, I'm gonna wait on this one. Okay. I'm not too sure. Like it's a great fight. That's what you really need to know. So,
all right, next fight we have kicking off the main card is Eryk Anders versus Marc-André Barriault. Your boy, Eryk Anders. 15. Yo, that's a sick nickname. 15-7.
I love it. I hate it.
He's 2-2-1 in his last 5, winning his last fight. 36 years old, fighting out of Birmingham, Alabama. Going against the power bar, Marc-André Barriault. He is 15-6, 3-2 out of his last 5. Fighting out of Quebec City, Quebec, Canada. 33 years old. We spoke a little bit about this off camera. I think I'm leaning Anders here.
You're brave. Go ahead, though.
Only because, like, Andre is what do they call him? MAB? Marc-André Barriault. Barriault is one of those guys where it's like, I mean, listen, maybe I'm dumb. Who knows?
But you might change your mind.
I might change my mind. You're probably right because you did make a very convincing argument here. But I just think that Anders, I think he gets overlooked a little bit because, you know, he's the former football player, this and that. And, you know, they kind of just put him in that category. But I think his wrestling is okay. I think he's got very good power and underrated striking, all things considered. And I think he does good in fights where there's chaos. And I think Andre Barriault could bring that pressure and leave those openings where I could see Andre clipping him. Yeah. And Andre Anders. I can see Anders.
You already know.
Okay, listen.
You already know which way you're gonna lean at the end of the day.
I can see Eryk Anders clipping him, and like, you know, I don't know. Stylistically, I think this is a decent matchup for Anders to, like, you know, exploit and you know, get a victory here. But you know, as you can already hear, my brother's on the Barriault side. So you know what? Tell the people why you think Barriault is the side.
I think Anders is a slightly better Julian Marquez.
Damn.
I said it. You know, I think he has a slightly better gas tank. He has better technical striking, and I think he's a better grappler. But what I will say is I think Andre is the more technical striker. I'm going to choose technique over power all day. And Andre is also very durable.
Talking about Barriault, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
sorry. Andre.
No, I was doing it too.
Yeah,
but I only noticed it when I'm listening.
They call him the power bar because he has extreme durability and he has extreme pressure and volume.
Yeah,
and he does not get tired. He does initiate the clinch sometimes, but I do trust him to manage distance here and just pick Anders apart. Unless Anders somehow gets him to the floor, and unfortunately, I don't think he might get him down once. But he doesn't really have the best wrestling. And I think that's my biggest concern. If Anders had better wrestling, I'd be on your side here. He does not have great wrestling, in my opinion. He does not have great shot selection. I don't think he effectively knows how to chain wrestle. His jiu-jitsu is really good. He does. His striking's been getting better, but I haven't really seen the incremental growth from fight to fight from him to really be so like a Brendan Allen that he's going to be the next guy.
Yeah.
You know? And that's where I'm at, you know. Like Brendan Allen, you could see incremental differences when he's focused. Anders is probably focused, don't see a ton of differences in his game. And that's why I like MAB in this fight. I think MAB is going to be able to keep him on the outside. I think MAB is going to be able to take whatever he throws and then give him, for every punch he's going to eat, he's going to give back to Anders in 3-4 punch combinations. Kicks to the body, weigh on him, lay on him, make him work, tire him out. Get him out of there, possibly. I like the line here. I like Marc-André a lot at -135. I think I'm definitely going to bet him. I understand if you want to pick Anders. I don't think it's a great idea.
I mean, listen, I'm leaning Anders. I don't know if I'm going to commit to Anders, but you know, at the moment, that's just the way I kind of see the fight playing out in my head. But
I also like the over here, by the way.
I think the over does hit.
Yeah, I like the over. If you can't bet it straight because
over
it's blown out.
Yeah.
You parlay it because Anders, despite everything I said, is durable. Marc-André, durable, and they will last. They will last over a round and a half. I don't see them either one of them getting packed up. So maybe later in the fight, pack them up. But you know, I don't think. I think this fight definitely goes over. But outside that, I think Marc-André. Matter of fact, I'll give it to you guys. Marc-André is definitely my bet. I'm betting Marc-André Barriault. I'm gonna lay it down right here. On the Access of Combat podcast, where all bets are made and all thoughts are formulated, which lead to the bets later that evening or right before fight time. So I'm gonna go Marc-André Barriault money line -135 is a good line. The thing is, and that's the thing. I'm going money line here, guys, because I don't know if it goes to decision or if he knocks him out late in the fight. I don't know. That's where I'm at. But I like Marc-André a lot. I'm gonna put my nuts, my proverbial nuts on the table for this.
Well, don't put your physical nuts because we'll get banned.
Yeah, that's very true.
We don't want to see your nuts.
Says who? But anyway, we can move on to the next fight. And this fight is incredible. I love this fight.
All right, next fight we got here is Dan Ige going against Nate Landwehr. 50K Dan Ige, 16-6, 2-3 out of his last 5, fighting out of someplace in Hawaii, 31 years old. Going against Nate the Train Landwehr, 17-4 overall, 4-1 out of his last 5, fighting out of Clarksville, Tennessee, 35 years old. Man, I'm pretty sure, I haven't looked at the line, but I'm pretty sure Ige's the favorite and Landwehr's the dog.
Yeah, Ige's minus 255, which I disagree with.
I think Ige, on paper, I think all things considered, I think Ige does win this fight.
Yeah.
255 is probably a little steep.
That's steep as hell.
I do love me some Nate Landwehr dog money, but man, I don't know. I don't know if he wins this fight, if I'm being honest. But this fight might be one of those like, oh man, if the lines were a little better, I might just stay away from it. But I don't know. I haven't put too much thought into like how I want to bet this fight in particular. But I think Ige wins.
Ige might be parlayable here
because I think he's got a chin, he's got the power,
doesn't get tired,
better
resume.
Yeah, better overall strength of schedule. I don't really see too much wrestling here going on. I mean, Landwehr's a good defensive wrestler anyway because, he came over from, is it M1 or?
Yeah. He can wrestle. He can offensively wrestle really well, too.
He could.
That's why I could see him exploiting Dan, but, God, if you're Dan, that's what you got to just be aware of, right?
Do you trust Landwehr to wrestle, though? I mean, I guess he can. I mean, he probably would. He probably will. Who knows? I don't know. Landwehr's he strikes me as one of those guys who just kind of likes to go in there and stand and bang too. So it's like, I don't know. I think Ige's the side. Don't know how I'm gonna bet it. I think the Ige money line's a little too big for my liking. How do you feel, brother?
I agree with you. For all the reasons you listed, I also think that Nate's gonna be the bigger guy, but Dan Ige is usually always undersized in all of his fights. And I could just see Nate walking into a big shot from Dan and Dan completely putting his lights out. If you look at who Dan's lost to, it's literally the top tier of the division still.
Yeah, he's lost to good guys, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everyone else, like, he dog walks. He either knocks them out or he subs them. And I could see him knocking out Nate. Nate doesn't have the best chin. He was doing the chicken dance the last fight.
He does the chicken dance almost every fight, though.
Yeah. Yeah, even when he was dog walking homeboy,
Onama, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, he was
still getting clipped.
He was still getting clipped in that fight. And it's because he doesn't really make the best decisions with managing the space. And when you have guys who have bad fight IQ like that, I gotta go with my boy Ige. He could wrestle him. He does have a great gas tank, but Dan's defensive wrestling is really good. Like, it's very hard the only guy that really took him down at will was Evelev. But look at Evelev.
But Evelev is a beast.
He's a beast. And look at Evelev's the way he strings together his takedowns. He goes from leg to body lock, rides the back, wrist ride, gets you to the floor, goes for the side control, the underhook under the neck.
His chain wrestling is great. His third and fourth and fifth efforts are always there, So it's it's just relentless grappling, when it comes to Evelev. So
I could see Landwehr doing the same thing, but I just think that Dan's gonna make him work, and if he makes him work, I could see Nate actually gassing, even though he has a great gas tank.
I think if he wrestles him, I think it makes Landwehr can make it competitive, at least. But if this stays standing, I think
Dan puts lights him on fire.
It's only a matter of time, I think. So
yeah, I have to lean the better fighter here. Yeah, I might parlay Dan. He's at minus 255 right now. I don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, Dan's definitely lean.
All right, now we're here at the featured bout of the card, and I don't know why this is even on the main card, but I think it's a solid fight. I just
hometown guy. That's why.
Yeah, Mike Malott, Adam Fugitt. Mike Proper Malott. He is 9-1-1, 5 out of his last 5. 31 years old, fighting out of Canada. Don't say where in Canada. He's Canadian. Believe me, guys. You'll know. Going against Adam Fugitt, 9-3, 4-1. Out of his last 5, fighting out of Oregon, 34 years old. I don't know who wins this fight. I think I have to lean Malott, maybe, but I think Fugitt is definitely live. What I do know is that this fight is probably not going to go to decision.
You can probably parlay that with the rest of the parlay that we've been building with the overs in this card.
I think you could parlay definitely the under 2.5. Fight doesn't go. I got a sneaky suspicion this fight probably ends in sub, but if you wanted to take the dog, I don't blame you. I think Mike Malott, that's too big of a fate. What's his favorite number right now?
He's minus 205.
That's a little too big for Mike Malott, to be honest. Only because like you haven't really seen him out the first round,
and he's not active.
And yeah, I mean, and then
he's not an active fighter.
The fight that always gives me pause when I think about Mike Malott is Mickey Gall, who he did finish, but Mickey Gall was putting hands on him.
Had his moments.
So it's like, and Fugitt is pretty solid.
Yeah.
You know, another guy where I kind of want to see a little more, but from what I've seen, he's good. This could be dog or pass for me, but for the most part, I'm gonna lean Malott here.
Malott,
Malott. You hear me? I mean, I didn't call Fugitt Fugitt. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck it.
But yeah, I think Malott's the lean. I think Fugitt could be the play, but I think the more confident plays I have here are the unders and fight doesn't go and just violence.
I agree.
People gonna bleed, it's gonna get cut open, and somebody might die.
Violence.
Facts.
Violence in this fight. That's the only thing I got to say about this fight. And I agree with you. I'm not going to go too deep into this because Mike Malott, literally, like, you can watch all of his footage within a very small period of time because he's never out of the first round. It's crazy. I don't know what he looks like out of the second round. I mean, out of the first round. And didn't really do shit when he did get out of the first round. Went to a draw with that guy in Belbiţă. Cannot remember his name right now. But Fugitt is, I don't want to say he's live. I don't want to say I'm going to bet him. Mike Malott should win this fight. I just have a hard time like the other Zahabi. These Canadians don't fight, apparently. He fights every 20 years. Every 23rd, on the 23rd day of spring, he arises to eat.
Yeah,
it's true.
Just a little bit. Bro.
Nah, it's not exaggerating, bro. Look at this man. When's the last time he fought? When's the last time he fought?
He fought recently, right? Am I bugging?
He fought in February. Damn, disrespected this man.
I tell you.
He fought Johan getting the knees. Nah, Johan don't.
Lioness.
That packed that boy up.
He did pack him up.
Out of the
Fellow
first
Canadian.
round.
The Canadian violence. There was maple syrup everywhere.
Yeah, but this is the most active he's been.
Yeah.
Because prior to this, it's a fight every year.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
So, you know what? I'll take it back. I like Mike Malott because he did get in there with a killer in Johan, who is he's half a round gas tank killer. If he gets you out of the half a round, he got you. But
I just think
I think
it's just his jiu-jitsu, I think, is just wicked.
It's wicked. Yeah. It's wicked. Yeah, I will say he's a great fighter.
Yeah.
Just hard for me to commit.
Very, very easily hittable. That's the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah, it's hard for me to give my hard-earned dollars to this man.
I might take a stab at Adam Fugitt. Don't know. I'm tossing that idea around.
Yeah, I want to see how Mike Malott looks on the scales. I want to see how he's talking in these fight interviews for the rest of this week, and I want to see where else. And by the way, like I said, violence. You parlay it, or if someone's getting murked in this fight, there's no way.
They would have been packing them up.
Packing them up. Someone's getting packed up, shipped home. Whether it's Malott, to whatever part of Canada that's not disclosed, or Fugitt back to America. You know what I'm saying? America. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, violence. That's my bet for this fight. Yeah, so we can move on to the next one. Best fight on the card, arguably.
All right, I'm trying to set up the pause here.
Sorry.
You gotta say this after I'm done.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm listening.
Next fight. We have the co-main event here.
I don't want to do things your way.
Shut up. Arguably the best fight on the card. You have Charles Oliveira going against Beneil Dariush.
Taking my lines. So good.
Shut the hell up.
This is number one bullshit.
It is.
Good.
Charles Du Bronx Oliveira, 39-9. 4-1 at his last 5. He lost his last fight. Who did he lose to?
Charles?
Yeah.
He lost to Islam.
There you go. Damn, how did I forget that? I got a goldfish memory.
No, well, Charles hasn't fought in a while. There's a thing too, He pulled out of his last 2 fights.
Yeah. 33 years old, fighting out of São Paulo, Brazil, going against Beneil Dariush, 24-4-1, 5 out of his last 5. I know he's training at Huntington Beach, California, but he is Iranian.
Yep.
Proud Iranian, 34 years old. This fight is a fight that a lot of people have been anticipating and waiting for, and properly excited about. This fight is a long time in the making. Oliveira has pulled out of this fight, I think, at least once. My lean is going to be Dariush. I think Dariush is on his way up. I think he's been wanting this fight for a long time. I think he is the harder puncher of the two. I think his grappling is very comparable. Arguably, we'll see.
Arguably better.
The only thing I do worry about on the Dariush side is that he tends to sometimes give up his back. He gave up his back once before. One too many times to Chiesa. And Chiesa was able to never give his back. And I think he ended up winning that fight. But besides that, I think Dariush has got him. I think Dariush has got Oliveira covered everywhere except for like the jiu-jitsu department. I like Dariush here.
I like Dariush too. And by the way, the bet on this fight is definitely violence. This fight's definitely not going to decision, in my opinion.
The only thing that sucks about this is it's only 3 rounds.
Yeah, it's if it was 5, you bet the house on it not going to decision.
Which low key, I think it kind of favors Oliveira a little bit.
How crazy is that?
The 3-round fight kind of favors him a little bit. So
and I agree with you. Like, and here's the other thing too. If this fight was 5 years ago, I would be picking Oliveira.
Yeah,
both of them 5 years ago.
Yeah,
because I feel like Dariush was still trying to figure out who he was. Like, he got knocked out by Barbosa. He got knocked out by, oh my God, Alex Hernandez. It's crazy how much this guy has turned it around, but I think he's really coming into his own. And I mean, dude, that performance against Gamrot, holy, I was just gonna bring it up. Shit,
yeah.
I bet against him.
That was
and I got burned for it.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say, guys, is that Dariush spinal. He had leg surgery. He had a spinal break. Spinal. Is it spinal? Spiral. It's a spiral fracture or spiral breakage on his leg. So who knows how he's going to look after coming back from that. But what I will say is Charles Oliveira uses his striking. He's so aggressive with his striking because he's so confident in his jiu-jitsu. If someone shoots at him, that he can lock up a guillotine or he can reverse position, get on top of them, smash him. He's not going to be able to do that with Dariush. Dariush is I think he's the better striker from a technical standpoint. I think he hits harder. I think his timing is a little better. And I mean, the timing's it's close.
Yeah.
Because the way he took out Gaethje was pretty impressive too. And look how Gaethje looked in his last fight against Raziv.
Well, the only thing I was going to just throw in and say real quick was that I do, just to add to everything that you're saying there is that I also trust Dariush's chin way more than I trust Oliveira's chin.
Interesting. I think they're about the same.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I literally seen Oliveira walking down the street the other day in Augusta win. He slammed right into a car.
Well, look what your car closed it to him, to Dariush.
Yeah, I mean, but that was,
he had him chicken dinner. Winner, chicken dinner.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? He had him doing the stinky leg.
I think I trust his chin a little more than I feel like it's one of those things where I feel like Oliveira is kind of on the way down,
and Dariush is on the way up.
Kind of on the way up, so they're kind of just meeting in the middle there.
I think Dariush is making better decisions.
Yeah,
and that's where I'm gonna go. If you make good, like Michael Chandler almost had him packed up too, Charles. If Michael Chandler made better fight decisions, he would have won. He would have been the champion. And
Dariush is again, when I say better grappler, I think
it's close.
I want to say more like, okay, so if Dariush is on top, I think he's more than capable of not being caught or getting caught in any kind of like submissions. And I think that favors him because I could see Oliveira getting comfortable staying on his back.
Yeah.
Trying to throw up submissions.
I agree.
And stuff like that. And
Dariush will go for heel hooks. He'll go for your legs. He'll try to creep out the back door. And I think his wrestling's a little better than Charles's too.
And more importantly, I think he'll maintain top position.
Yeah. His grappling's wicked. And if you don't know Beneil Dariush's grappling repertoire, it is pretty impressive. He's a world champion jiu-jitsu player. So it's like he's a beast. Charles is the better athlete. That's the only thing I will say might have an impact on this fight. But I got to go with you here. I got to go with the guy who's on the come up right now, and I think it is Beneil. Beneil's just making the better decisions. He is the favorite, a minus 140. I believe I might be betting him straight, and I will definitely be picking this fight not to go the distance. Just because of Charles' style. Charles is going to walk down. He's going to take punches, throw punches, eat punches, give kicks, work for jiu-jitsu, work for the back. Dude, he stopped Dustin Poirier, man. He stopped Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
And Dustin's durable as shit. But my thing is, it goes to show you, how good Charles Oliveira is. This fight's amazing. This fight's just amazing.
Great. The only thing that sucks is that it's a 3-round fight.
Yeah, it should be 5.
It should be a 5.
It should be a 5-rounder. And you want the real? It may not even be necessary. This fight might end. I think this fight's gonna end before 3. I really do. But I would like to see how their styles change up because they know they have to preserve their energy. Throughout the rest of the fight.
In a 3-rounder, you kind of get a little fast and loose with your power and energy. You know what I'm saying? Your conservation. You don't have to get too crazy.
Right. I think there's a blueprint on how to beat Charles.
I agree.
Dariush, there is a blueprint. You know what it is? And that's why this fight's a little scary. The blueprint is to get him early. Because Edson got him in the second round. Drakkar almost killed him in the first round. Chiesa, did he go to the decision with him?
No, I think Chiesa ended up subbing
in the first or second round, and
I'll tell you right now,
the other dude who beat him, because he has 4 losses.
Alexander Hernandez
packed him up in the first round.
Chiesa was a rear naked choke in the beginning of the second round.
Yeah, so that's that. And the thing is, that kind of plays into Charles's hands, right? Because Charles is gonna come at him and throw punches.
Yeah, and I can see Charles just swooping and just taking his back,
Yeah. Charles is really good at taking your back without taking you to the floor.
Yeah.
It's such a great fight.
But I'm pretty sure Dariush is aware of that. Dariush has been wanting this fight for a while.
Very high fight IQ too. Yeah. He understand, especially his last couple of performances, the way he handled Gamrot. Oh my goodness. Fight was that told me a
classic,
lot. That told me a lot about where he was at.
Yeah. I'm
just worried now because of the spinal break on his leg. But he's had so many injuries at this point, you just got to kind of trust the process with him. So I'm gonna lean Dariush. I don't know if I'm gonna bet him yet. The bet for this fight is definitely violence and for it not to go the distance. Parlayable piece, and if it's at a nice line, you bet it straight. I think I might be putting a bet on Dariush too, though. I don't want to commit on that yet, but yeah, I will say it's very, very likely I'm probably gonna commit on it. I think Dariush is definitely gonna be my pick and my bet. So, but yeah, on to the last fight of the card.
Now, the main event. We have Amanda, the Lioness Nunes, going against Irene, no nickname Aldana. The Lioness. What's more to be said? She's 24, 22-5. She is 4 out of her last 5. We know who she lost to. You know how she got that win back. 35 years old, fighting out of Miami, Florida, representing the very nice country of Brazil.
Yes.
Going one-on-one here with Irene Aldana, 14-6, 4-1 in her last 5. Fighting out of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, 35 years old. This fight is a banger. I don't think they wanted the Juliana fight on this card because I think they wanted to save Irene for Mexico. I think she was eventually going to fight Nunes, but I think they wanted her on the Mexico card. But, Juliana fell out. And here we are, both in Canada. They're going to get a banger. I want to pick Aldana here. I want to pick her. Her last fight doesn't really give me too much confidence. If you just based her if you're just basing your performance, I guess your opinion on Aldana's last performance, it wasn't the greatest showing for her. She did finish Chie-San with a up kick from the ground into the liver, which I think I've never seen before. But all jokes aside, Aldana is going to be one of the very few opponents that Nunes has fought that can actually hurt her. Not hurt her, but like Nunes, Nunes is used to being the bully. She's a very strong woman for this division. Very strong. And Aldana not only is the bigger girl, but has the longer reach and is arguably the better striker here. Nunes, I think if she wants to win this fight, I think she needs to do it smartly. And I think the smart path to victory for her is to wrestle Aldana. Aldana does have solid takedown defense, but Nunes can wear on her. And I mean, again, people don't realize how strong Nunes is until they get in the octagon with her. But that being said, I think Nunes is a little bit on the decline. I wouldn't say it's like a rapid decline, like, she's all washed up. Like, she's still, arguably the women's GOAT.
Not even arguably. She is. She could lose this fight by knockout. She's still the GOAT.
Yeah.
Let's just put that on the table.
I was just trying to be a little modest,
Yeah, no, she just no need to be modest for her. Yeah,
okay.
She's the GOAT.
But I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, I think Aldana is probably worth the dog shot here. But would I be surprised if Nunes just dragged it down to the ground and decisioned her way to a victory here, or maybe even subbed her? Because I think a sub is live. If you're gonna bet the Nunes side, I think a sub is very live. But I think Aldana's big enough of a dog where I kind of just want to take a little bit of a stab at it. What about you?
I agree. I agree with everything you said. Here's what I will say to add on to all this, and this is going to be one of those long-winded rants about why I think
go for it.
Irene is very, very live in this fight, like very, very live.
Yeah, maybe you could do a better job at explaining.
No. You did a great job.
I did a decent job.
You did a great job. Here's what I will say. Irene is the first girl outside of Cyborg, in my opinion. And let me put GDR in there too.
Okay.
That can knock out Amanda with one or two good shots.
I agree.
Here's the difference. Irene is a little bit I would say a lot better than GDR on the floor.
Think so?
Yes.
Okay.
No, so she's a lot more controlled than Cyborg in chaos. I think Amanda is better at managing distance. Let me not go that far either. I think Amanda is a little bit better at catching you at the end of her punches. I think Irene is the more technical striker here.
No, she is. I agree with that sentiment.
I think she has good timing. She has good striking defense. She knows how to use her hooks and her straights. Everything's on the pipe. Amanda kind of wails her punches a little bit unless she's throwing in single shots.
Yeah, she's not the most technical striker, Amanda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say. I know people are saying that, she's going to be able to take Irene down. I don't know if that's necessarily true. She should be able to, but this is the same girl that struggled at getting GDR down in their second fight. And GDR, I don't think has the same takedown defense as Aldana. I'm sorry. I'm just going to put it out there. I think Aldana is just a better fighter.
A counter argument real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I seen Aldana get taken down multiple times by Holly Holm.
Right.
And Holly Holm is not really like GSP either. You know what I'm saying?
Now, let's put this on the table now. Here's what I will say to both those points.
Let's go.
Holly Holm, very good at using footwork to lure her into positions that made Aldana uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Nunes does not have that footwork.
No.
She doesn't. Nunes is a up and down fighter, as Floyd Mayweather would say. She's very lineal. Straight, left, right. Aldana is going to have better footwork than Nunes in this fight. I agree. She knows how to angle. She knows how to pick her shots. Boom. So that's I think that's probably point number one.
Point number one.
But it's probably point number 3 at this point because I gave like another 2.
No, but keep going. Go ahead. It's point number. We just add it to the list.
The Macy Chiasson fight, I know that wasn't her best showing. She also had a bad weight cut for that fight. Really bad weight cut.
She did.
My biggest concern, and this is going to probably be, this is why I'm not going to give you guys a bet on Irene immediately. I want to see how she looks on the scale. That's huge. If she looks good, I'm definitely going to put a bet on her. If she looks or if she even misses weight, I'm going to stay away from this fight. Because I don't know if it's going to end in violence. I don't know if it's going to end by decision or someone's going to get knocked out. Thing is, here's the other thing too. I do trust Irene's chin. And she has Juliana Peña's chin, but with better distance management and better decision making. The other thing, so that's point number 2. Point number 3, I like the gym she's coming out of. She's training out of the same gym as Alexa Grasso, who just beat Valentina Shevchenko. And if there's anything that fight taught you, the coaches in that gym know how to game plan. They're going to know where they're weak at. They're going to know where they're strong at. They're going to know where they can exploit Amanda. And don't get me wrong, I don't think you can exploit Amanda too much on the floor. But what I will say is, Alexa, like Yair Rodriguez, and I don't know if it's just the whole Mexican MMA system right now. Yeah. What they are very good at doing, and same thing with Alexa, is making you work.
I agree.
And if you can make her, you don't have to, listen, you can give up a round or two. But if you're making Amanda work like Juliana did in their first fight on the floor, which Amanda, by the way, if you notice, never let her get there again.
Yeah.
Never really. And the thing is, if you notice, Juliana had her best success in those rounds and that second fight. Working through the Kimura trap, working for arm bars. And then you've seen Amanda kind of scramble and like, oh shit, I should probably stay away from this position. If Irene can implement a similar game plan where she causes havoc on the floor, just like she did against Chiazon, and I know people say it's a Hail Mary kick. Dude, she's very active off her back, trying to like create havoc or, throwing something up and then, just scrambling to get back to her feet. Amanda, if she cannot knock this girl out in the first or second round, she's going to have to work for the last 3 rounds of this fight. Amanda also not with American Top Team anymore. She's training on her own, and she has a second baby on the way. Beautiful thing. Not sure how focused she is in the fight game right now.
Could be a little distracted, yeah.
Could be a little distracting. And I just think Irene is hungry.
I'm pretty sure that her first fight against Juliana, she was also dealing with a new birth as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, be a little bit of deja vu there in terms of, not being fully focused in the game. But who knows? Maybe this could be a situation where Amanda knows, I got to focus up, because, I kind of let this distract me last time.
By the way, the opponent change also is interesting here because she beat Juliana the second time.
Yeah, badly.
She already knew how to that game plan, probably took her foot off the gas and camp a little bit because she knew more or less like where she was strong at, where she could exploit Juliana and probably pack that girl up. Or just keep her on the outside and make sure she doesn't get into the wrestling or grappling exchanges, which I think Juliana completely messed up in the second fight. Did not use any of her wrestling. I think her wrestling would have been the ace in the fight if she could get Amanda to the floor or just make her work, right? I think Irene is going to make her work. And I understand Holly took her down, but I think Holly just understands footwork really well and knows how to put people like Irene in bad positions where they're following and then against the cage down to the floor off the body lock. Amanda doesn't really work for the body lock. She'll go for a double leg. Irene, very strong hips. So Holly Holm and Irene and Amanda's takedown points are very different too.
I agree.
Amanda also doesn't sub people unless she hurts them. I don't know if she's going to be able to hurt Irene to the point where she's going to be able to sub on the floor. I don't see it.
I mean, she can catch her at the end of a punch.
Anyone can get caught.
Yeah.
But
I do trust
Irene's chin.
And
her mind with distance management.
Yeah.
If she can manage to keep this fight standing, which I think she can. Amanda's not, she has good wrestling, but against who? You know what I'm saying? And then she has good wrestling against girls that she hurts and then takes down.
Yeah.
Not to shit on Amanda. She's the GOAT. She could lose this fight by knockout, devastating knockout. And I'm still going to say she's the greatest to ever do it. But,
100%. Yeah, this is not indicative of her, her status as,
yeah,
the GOAT, the women's GOAT.
If she gets up for this fight, I could see her really putting a stamp on her. Because if she beats Irene, I don't see any of these other girls beating her. Caitlin Vieira at one point, but Caitlin Vieira is not the same fighter she was, and guess why not? Because Irene stole her soul when she knocked her out. I like Irene as a dog in this fight a lot, and for a lot of those reasons that I just mentioned. I just think that Amanda doesn't have the footwork to corral this girl the way that she wants to. Mm-hmm. She's going to have to get into a phone booth with her, and I'm going to take the girl that not only is arguably the bigger puncher, but arguably, not arguably, is the more technical puncher.
I agree.
I could see Irene exploiting a lot of holes in this. And listen, don't get me wrong, Amanda should win this fight. But if I'm looking at the value of this line, and Irene is plus 260, that line's probably going to get a little bigger by fight time.
It opened bigger. I don't know if it's going to get bigger. I hope it does, though, because if it does, I'm going to try to jump back on that.
Well, listen, I'll be honest. I'm going to wait to see how Irene looks in the scale.
That's true. And
I'm going to trust her camp, that Alexa Grasso camp, to game plan, to exploit certain areas that Amanda, it can be compromised at. I mean, dude, and that GDR fight was a couple of years ago. And she was more in her prime at that time. GDR made her work for takedowns. She couldn't take GDR down. And I think Irene is a better fighter than GDR. Just bigger, more controlled than Cyborg when she gets you hurt. Better than GDR on the floor and with her defensive grappling.
And then
I think there's a recipe for this. This is the one fight. You know me. I've been saying for a while. I think Irene.
You've been on the Aldana side for a minute. Yeah.
I think Irene is a nightmare matchup for this girl. And not that Amanda can't win. I just think Irene can exploit holes on this girl that a lot of other girls can't, because not only does she have the size and the durability to deal with Amanda, she has the size and the punching power to make Amanda think twice about things too.
And just to add, I mean, Amanda, not that because I think Amanda's a very smart fighter, but she does tend to, especially early, get sucked into the fight. And what I mean by that is like,
yep. If she gets in a phone booth with her,
if you clip her early, like like Cyborg did, and the smart path would have been just to like maybe grapple or whatever. She was like, nah, whatever. She clipped, she wanted it back.
Right.
It worked out for her there. It didn't really work out for her against Juliana.
No.
Where Juliana clipped her early and, it kind of, I don't want to say Amanda like threw her game plan away, but it was almost like she just wanted to, it just turned into a fight after that. You know what I'm saying? So I can see Aldana clipping her early and then not necessarily Nunes throwing her game plan out, but
she could blow her low possibly.
Yeah. And then, then she's tired and then she's got another couple rounds to fight. And then, you know what I'm saying?
Gets nasty.
There's another, I guess, plus for Aldana, as long as Aldana stays smart about it,
And put it this way too, like
even overextend and, get caught and,
Even though Julie lost that fight against her, right? The second fight.
Yeah.
If you looked at their pictures after the fight, Amanda looked like she lost the fight.
Yeah.
And I just don't think you can you cannot take damage like that from Irene. You just can't. I think Irene will put her lights out. But here's the other thing too. Could I see this fight going to decision? Yeah. I could see Amanda getting her down 2 of the rounds, but I could see Irene stealing 2 of the rounds.
Yeah.
And then it's heading into the 5th, 2-2.
You think Irene, if she's on her back, stands a solid chance against not getting subbed?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Because if you look at how many people has Amanda subbed, if you look at Amanda's submissions, who is she?
And Irene hasn't been. I don't think she's ever been submitted either. So
right. Like if you look at,
I just want to throw out that hypothetical because, again, like I think Amanda's smart. The smartest path of victory or to victory. Am I even saying that right? I don't even know. I'm a little tired. But the best way for Amanda to win is basically to grapple her.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's going to have to go wrestling heavy. But
if she grapples her, the sub is going to, I could see Nunes, attempting subs here, obviously. And,
Right. The thing is, I would believe that. But I seen what Juliana did. And Irene's not too far from that. The last time she subbed someone was in 2021, Megan Anderson. The last time she subbed someone before Megan Anderson, holy shit, 2016, Miesha Tate. And that's after she had Miesha Tate hurt. By the way, same thing with Megan Anderson. Punched in the face twice, got Megan to the floor, inverted triangle.
Yeah.
She's only really finishing girls when she has them hurt.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's going to hurt Irene. I just don't see it. The finishing upside, believe it or not, in this fight, and this is why I said this fight is so interesting from the dog perspective. Who do you think is the finishing upside in this fight?
It's on the Aldana side for sure.
It's Aldana.
Yeah.
You know, and could Amanda knock her out? Sure. I just don't see Irene putting herself in positions to get stopped like that. I just don't. And that girl, the nicest person on the planet, when that cage door locks, she is fucking vicious, man. Vicious. So I'm going to be real with you guys. If she looks good on the scales, viva Mexico. I think we're going to have 3 champions in Mexico. Well, one's the interim champ. Well, no, 3. Moreno, Grasso, and Aldana.
So technically 4.
Technically 4 if you count Yair.
Yeah.
And you want the real Yair is live against Vogue too, but that's for a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah, we won't get into that one.
We won't get into that one, but I love, if Irene looks good on this scale, I'm probably going to put a bet on her. Most likely I'm going to put a bet on her. She just struggles with weight. The Chiesa fight struggle with weight. The other fight that she looked suspect. Look, Yana Santos this is what I'm saying, and like I'm not saying Yana and Amanda are the same fighter.
No, they're not.
But Yana tried to put her against the fence. Irene wound up taking her down, dropping her, and then beating the brakes off of her.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you have to trust that Amanda can keep up that grappling pace for 5 rounds. I don't see it because she couldn't against GDR, and GDR is not the same level of opponent that Irene is.
I agree.
Not in the grappling exchanges.
I agree with that.
It's just not, and you see that Amanda was like this against GDR. GDR is a Muay Thai fighter, bro. Doesn't have really any grappling. Let's just put it on the table. So no, I don't see it. I like Irene for a lot of reasons in this fight. I really do.
I might end up taking a stab at Irene. I think for me personally, because again, you guys know what happened to me last week. I'm gonna take this card nice and slow, and by the time I get to the main event, if I'm feeling myself, nice little dog shot on Irene.
Right.
But besides that, yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, here's the other thing too, just so you guys know, and just so you're informed. And I just remembered this, and there's a whole MMA Junkie article on this. The Holly Holm fight with Irene Aldana, Irene officially had a broken foot before that fight.
Okay.
I don't want to say I know things, but I kind of know things. And, I kind of had that little in my back pocket because I remembered that fight, and I was like, I swore she was hurt after that fight.
Yeah.
And she was hurt before the fight. That was the report, and it was pretty legitimate. And that probably makes sense as to why I think she had foot wraps in that fight, and she was also following Holly around as opposed to cutting off the octagon. I like Irene a lot in this fight. If she's coming in healthy, good weight cut, I think we're gonna have and new. So, yep, and that's all I gotta say about the main event. I talked enough about it, and yeah. It's yikes. This podcast went way over than we thought. But it's a wrap, guys. Ladies and gentlemen.
Finally.
It's a wrap. As you already know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody watching on YouTube right now, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on the latest video drops.
And for all the audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Love you all. Hope you enjoyed the show. You got some good knowledge here. Good betting advice. We gave you some picks. Let's get it. Let's get this rebound from last weekend. I can assure you victory, as Woody Harrelson did in White Man Can't Jump.
I need the rebound so bad.
I assure you victory, as he did to Rosie Perez. I assure you victory. Right. I guarantee
you're
victory.
You're wildin'. You're wildin'.
But
chill.
Love you guys. Holla at ya. It's a wrap.